What's up, everyone? Welcome to your weekly tech update, the show that explores the newest, coolest, and craziest side of tech available on the interwebs. I'm your tech pro, Ray McNeil. Coming up on the program today, we're talking Darpa. They want your insect-scale robots for a micro Olympics. Samsung's AR emojis are now even more customizable, but still just as creepy. And happening in this week's What The, a suspect in Washington tried to escape the cops by hiding in a dryer. As you can imagine, it didn't go too well. That and a whole lot more coming up on your weekly tech update next. Hi everyone. Speaking at a special event promoting the automaker's upcoming Formula E race program, Nissan's director of EV marketing and sales strategy, Brian Maragno, revealed some details about the anticipated long-range Leaf. Maragno said the larger battery Leaf will receive the E+ badge and will get a boost as well over the 40 kilowatt version. The 40 kilowatt hour Leaf is rated at 142 horsepower, but get this, the longer range model is going to have 200 horsepower on tap. Maragno said the larger battery simply made it possible to have more power, as the more robust motor would have drained the smaller battery at a quicker rate. Nissan also confirmed that the long-range Leaf will be sold as a 2019 model year vehicle. The automaker wouldn't spill any beans in regards to a debut, but you can expect to see it arrive sometime later this year or in the beginning of next. It should have over 200 miles of range on tap, but Nissan has yet to provide an exact figure, so we're still holding out on that one. No one has sold more EVs than Nissan at this point, which has managed to move over 320,000 Leafs alone since the nameplate was first introduced back in 2010. That means it has a wealth of knowledge to bring to the table in regards to electric cars. And for that reason, Nissan thinks that it can win. The Darpa Robotics Challenge was a showcase for how very large, very expensive robots could potentially be useful in disaster recovery and high-risk environments. Humanoids are particularly capable in some very specific situations, but the rest of the time, well, they're probably overkill. And using smaller, cheaper, more specialized robots is much more efficient. This is especially true when you're concerned with data collection, as opposed to manipulation. For the search part of the search and rescue, for example, you're better off with lots of very small robots covering as much ground as possible versus a large one that kind of clunkily maneuvers through the disaster. Darpa has announced a new program called SHRIMP. It stands for Short Range Independent Micro Platforms. Boy, they're lucky that spelled out shrimp, aren't they? The goal is to develop and demonstrate multifunctional micro to milli robotic platforms for use in natural and critical disaster scenarios, all to enable robots that are both tiny and useful. SHRIMP will support fundamental research in the component parts that are, well, the most difficult to engineer, including actuators, mobility systems, and power storage. Imagine a natural disaster scenario such as, say, an earthquake that inflicts widespread damage to buildings and structures, critical utilities and infrastructure, and threatens human safety. Having the ability to navigate the rubble and enter highly unstable areas could prove invaluable to saving lives or detecting additional hazards among all the wreckage. One of the best things about DARPA programs like these is their competitive nature, and SHRIMP is no exception. Both components and integrated robots will compete in a series of Olympic-themed competitions for multifunctional millimeter to centimeter scale robotic platforms, performing tasks associated with maneuverability, dexterity, and manipulation. DARPA will be splitting the competition into two parts, one for actuators and power sources, and the other for complete robots, capable of of performing events like the high jump, long jump, weightlifting, and shot put, Darpa expects that the teams will develop systems that weigh less than 1 gram and fit into 1 cubic centimeter. Darpa has $32 million of funding to spread around across multiple projects for shrimp. Abstracts are due August 10th, proposals are due September 26th, and the competition could happen as early as March of next year. We all know that Amazon is trying to take over the world, and they continually prove it every day. Most recently, the retail giant has gone after pharmacies, grocery stores, and now they're taking on the hardware store. You may never again have to take that random screw, nut, bolt, washer, or fastener to the hardware store to match it up and buy replacements. Amazon's Part Finder can help. The company has rolled out a new feature that lets you point your camera at the item in question so Amazon can scan it, match it, then direct you to matching items from its product catalog. The feature is currently capable of identifying over 100 types of fasteners, which represents thousands, if not millions of parts. Amazon says it was built using technology developed by PartPick. That's a company that Amazon acquired back in 2016. The feature takes advantage of the camera to identify the object in question, a process it walks you through when you first launch Part Finder by tapping the camera button next to the search box in the Amazon app. Now, just to let you know, this is where Amazon has added a number of product finding functions that lets consumers search for products without entering text. For example, here is where you would find the barcode scanner, the image recognition-based product search package, X-ray, smile code scanner, AR view, and more. To use Part Finder, you first tap the icon to launch the feature, then place the object on a white surface next to a penny as instructed. Amazon's app then scans the item and delivers results, assuming the product is in focus and you followed the instructions properly. On the following screen, you add more information to help narrow down the search results. For example, scan a screw, and it asks for details like whether or not it's a flathead or Phillips. Of course, a screw is an easier thing to find on Amazon. The feature will be a lot more handy when you're stuck with an odd part that you don't know how to identify. Part Finder is currently showing up in Amazon's app on iOS. No word yet on Android release though, but we'll keep you updated here on your weekly tech update.